Welcome to the 41st episode of the Bloomers podcast. My name is Amr. This channel is a podcast based on mental health, life advice, relationship advice. It's just random stuff like that. Self-help. And today it's my 2-year anniversary of this channel's existence. And I'm going to be talking about how to podcast. A lot of people tend to make this a really complicated process on YouTube from videos that I've seen. But being that I'm 2 years into this, I have a lot of experience, so I'd like to share, and hopefully I can help you out with starting your podcast and everything. So to keep things simple, all you really need to start a podcast is just a mic, something to capture your audio from your mic, so like a phone or computer, and then some platform to upload your podcast onto. So you can use something like voice memos right here on like an Apple voice memos. Then you record your recording, and you go there's this website called Spotify for podcasters. And basically what it is, it's like a completely free service. I'm not sponsored, by the way. This is literally just like what it is, right? So you can upload your recording onto this website for free. You can make an account for free. It's amazing. A lot of websites make you pay and stuff, but do not fall for those, honestly. I don't know what kind of benefits they have, but I just know that if you want to do it for free, you can do it like this. So you just save your recording, and you basically just fill out your description, your title, the date you want to publish, and then you go down, you can fill out like episode number, and you can upload your episode art. So there's a lot of cool stuff you can do with this website, and it's like completely free, which is awesome. Like, why would you not do this, right? And again, I promise I'm not sponsored, but then you can publish your episode, and it goes on Spotify, it goes on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, all that good stuff, right? So it's awesome. If you are looking to use YouTube as your platform, I also show you how to do that. So basically, I record with my camera, which I'll get to in a bit. And then I basically put the audio file from voice recordings into here. And as you can see, I match up the recordings. So the audio from the camera and the audio from the mic are both synced together. And then you basically just shut off the audio from the camera, and then it's the high quality audio from your microphone. Now, if you're looking to have a visual aspect for your podcast, like how kind of I have right now, I'll also show you how I do that and how to make it high quality. So this is a video of my setup. So it's just a standard room. I got a bed, a desk, a chair. But what I use is a Nikon D5100. So this is just like a DSLR camera, like a family camera, pretty old. We got it in 2012. I just happened to have it. So I'm like, why not use it for my podcast, right? So it records in 1080p or 4K. It's pretty nice. I just set it up like that. Then also I have my laptop, which is a 2020 MacBook. It gets the job done, iMovie, voice memos. Then my microphone, the Samson Q2U, which is really nice. I just got this mic. It's extremely high quality, as you can tell right now. So just those three I use to record. And then lighting, I got a lamp, literally just from HomeSense. That lamp is fire. I hold that on my face. And those ones back there. So this is just literally a lamp from IKEA, the big black one. Then you got the little green cactus right here. I don't even know where I got that from, but just the lighting adds layers to your setup, right? And then that one up there is like a Costco light. I like to use purple. The purple, as you can see right now, it literally just it adds some more character to the setup. So just have fun with it when you're doing a setup. Just play around with things. I also got these here, these little flowers and stuff, just to add a little bit of spice to the setup. It's a pretty fun thing. Also, my bed has flower bed sheets. So have fun with your setup if you're looking to do it. So that was kind of the process part, how to record, how to edit, and how to sync it all up and all that. But I kind of want to talk about some of the more, how to what to talk about and all the different the nuances of this stuff. So a lot of people are always or when I was first started, I was what should my podcast be about? And the answer came to me quickly. It was when you're choosing your topic, make sure it's just something that you like, something that is general and something that you can make a lot of content about. So for me, I know ever since I was like a mid-teen, I really like talking about like philosophy and like deep topics, right? So that and the fact that I also liked making videos, those two things combined really well into podcasting as a hobby. And a lot of people would tell me that, you know, I speak good about like deep things, right? So if you've ever gotten some if ever anyone says any like good things about you, pay attention to those, and maybe, you know, you can incorporate that in your content. So yeah, like for me, I love talking about mental health. I love talking about negative stuff. I love talking about positive things. I love talking about social issues, relationship advice, you know, death, these types of topics, right? They're great for content. And if you have people who are willing to listen, I mean, just dude, that's a blessing, right? One thing to keep in mind though is when you're starting any kind of, you know, creative idea that you're going to share with other people, it's important that you genuinely enjoy it and you genuinely love it, because you're going to hate it and other people are going to hate it. And it's the love, the genuine love that you have for whatever your idea is that keeps you going, because the love kills the hate. It's like the spirit that you create your creation in, it translates into your idea. And people are going to see like, okay, is this person genuine or are they not genuine? Like, that's the biggest part, is like, is this person like, what's their motivation? And, you know, all that you need to have is just a genuine passion and love for what you're doing, and you can continue. I sent out a little poll on my story for people to ask me questions about like podcasting and stuff for this video. And one of the people said, they asked, how have you been doing it for 2 years? And the answer is like, it's just stuff that I genuinely wanted to do. And I fell in love with it. And I initially loved what it was about. And then I now love the hobby. Like it's a great combination. So make sure you make those smart decisions, because so many people and so many podcasts just fail. They just stop. And that's because of a lot of different reasons. But I think one of the main reasons is there isn't that genuine start. It's just the focus is immediately like, oh, I want to gain, you know, subscribers. I want to make money off the podcast. And that's another thing, like money, with something like Spotify for podcasters, you're able to make money off of it. Actually, they have a section where you can actually make money and like have a membership and sell merch and stuff, which is cool, right? But that shouldn't be your motivation at all. It should be a genuine birth of, okay, I want to do this because it's fun. Have an idea of what your audience is going to be, or who your audience is going to be, sorry. So my audience, I think, was mainly targeted to like anyone over the age of 18 and like below like 30. That's my main like demographic. But I mean, anyone can watch a podcast, right? Like it doesn't have to be that, but your main focus should be a certain group of people. And also I like to focus on men's mental health, just because that's a bit of a, you know, look down upon thing in society. So, you know, have a little focus, and that doesn't have to just limit your podcast right away. Like it'll change and it'll adapt with what type of content you're making. But yeah, just have an audience in mind just in case. And another thing that a lot of people struggle with is whether to have a co-host, do it solo, have guests. I'm biased when I say this. Solo is the way to go. It is a bit awkward at the start talking to a camera. I remember when I recorded my first episode 2 years ago today, it was like so weird. I'm just like, dude, what the hell am I doing? But the problem with recording with other people is conflict, right? You have to work really well with the other person you're recording with, or the other people. You have to know them pretty well. Creative decision making is really complicated when multiple people are involved. If you've ever tried making a house in Minecraft with multiple people, that's how it is, right? Like there's just too many cooks in the kitchen, you know? So what I like to do is I like to just have a guest one episode, make that episode and they come on like next year, right? It's fun. I think that's a better way because, it sounds bad, but like you're still in control of your podcast and everything, and they're just there and they can bring in nice, fresh ideas that you don't really talk about. And it's a beautiful thing, man. Now, this is a big thing that you need to keep in mind. Video length, all right? So if you scroll on my channel and go down, I have some videos that are like solo videos, just me, that are like an hour and 15 minutes. And like most people in the world are not going to watch that video. And I only learned later on, about a year in, that 20 to 30 minutes is a perfect length for podcasts, because someone can be like, driving somewhere and listening to your podcast, or working out at the gym, or just on a walk, and they're listening to you. And like, that's like the ideal time, because no one really wants to listen to like an hour or something podcast unless the person who's talking really means something to them, which we're small creators here, right? Like no one really cares about us, unless it's like family, right? So yeah, I think if you're doing a solo podcast, definitely make your videos around 20 to 30 minutes. If you have a guest or you have like a lot of people, an hour is fine, because people are going to be really hooked on to the different people in the podcast. But yeah, I think 20 to 30 minutes is a good length. Upload schedule is huge. Now, I know I used to think that I could upload every week, make a podcast every week. It's not practical. I would not recommend, unless you have a lot of different guests you can bring on, or a lot of different content, or you're just super creative. Like, my upload schedule right now is like ideally 2 videos per month, so 24 in 1 year. And that's 1 guest episode per month and 1 solo, but that usually never happens. Like, that's just a goal I set. I usually don't get to it, but you're going to burn out of content if you record once a week or twice a week. You need to set a limit. And it's good, because when you prevent yourself and you control yourself from making the episode, when you eventually do make it, it's like everything comes out, and it's amazing. One thing that I don't like about other podcasters, or most podcasters, is the fact that they kind of use a script. I wasn't a big fan of that. I tried it. If you were to look at my like episode 2 to like 5, I used to use a script in all those videos, and it just didn't flow well. What flows better is like a little like checklist, and then you either with a guest or yourself, you genuinely like just go off the top of your head with them. And I know it seems a bit weird and a bit hard, but I promise you, your videos will flow a lot better, and people will enjoy them more when you deliver it like that. And it'll take practice, because your confidence level is a lot lower when you first start, and you don't really know how to do it. But as soon as you get like 10 episodes in, it's like, man, like I know what I'm doing. Like, I used to be really not confident in my videos, and then I realized, like, man, like I'm learning. Like, this is such a beautiful thing. It's like a journey. You go on a journey with it, and it's like, you mature so much in terms of like the content creation. So yeah, I would totally recommend no script, just little ideas, and work on that, like speaking off the top of your head, because it really helps. And like, I know for me, it's helped in like work and like volunteering, and yeah, it's great. You should definitely try. If you want to really grow, I think the biggest thing that I found is you got to cover controversial topics. Anytime I've ever covered a controversial topic, like suicide, gender, stuff like that people kind of really get like riled up about, I've gained a lot of subscribers, and I've gained a lot of views. Now, obviously, you don't want to focus your channel just on controversy. You don't want to be like an Andrew Tate type person, but like it really does help for growth, because people are attracted towards drama and like conflict a lot of the times online. So yeah, I would honestly recommend covering some controversial topics eventually with your podcast, and have some guests on, because guests really bring in a different like energy to it. But at the same time, a lot of people don't like talking about certain things in the public view like that. So that's why I recommend solo. But one important rule to remember about podcasting is that whatever you upload, just know that it can last forever. And, there is a certain level of risk you take, because especially if you're talking about your life, like, this stuff will be on the internet forever. So just be careful about what you say. Don't try to, talk about other people. Kind of talk about your own self, what you're comfortable with, and the people who are okay with their name being mentioned on your podcast. Just don't abuse it. Don't go too far. And like, another thing for growth is definitely take advantage of YouTube Shorts, Instagram, TikTok. It takes a little while to get the ability to like clip your own podcast and upload it, but it's great. Another thing is accessories. You can make different accessories for your podcast, like your channel art and your podcast art. So I use Canva for all my edits. I'll post some on the screen. So I have my logo right here. I actually have a card that I hand out to people. It looks like this. And I basically just give it out when someone mentions a podcast, or I want to just like tell them like, hey, like, I have a hobby if you want to check it out. It's a good way to advertise, and it's a good way to show people like what you're doing. Just find different ways to stand out. Don't be one of those podcasters who are like just kind of monotone and like not really like putting their whole soul into it. Have something about you that really stands out. The fact that the episodes or the content that you make on your podcast is going to last forever, you also got to remember that this is something that I like to talk about, is that when I die, these podcast episodes will be here as how people remember me, right? So don't be someone you're not. Be yourself, but like also make content that reflects who you are, and people can remember you in a good way eventually when you're passed away. Because I mean, unless you have some admin who's gonna like clean up your channel and like delete all your videos when you're dead, you gotta set the vision for your podcast. What do you want it to be in the end? And for me, I really want it to be like something where if I do have the opportunity to grow old, I want to make videos with my kids. I want to make videos with my wife on here, friends in like 50 years, you know what I mean? Like, it's a lifetime thing. So just make sure you're aware of all these things and you think about it, because it really is kind of scary. Like, you don't know who's watching. It's public. It does get kind of scary, but it's also really beautiful. You're going to get positive comments. You're going to get mean comments. You're going to get hate comments at a certain point. And my mentality is, with all the positive comments, just embrace it and praise the people and thank them, because they go out of their way to say something great to you. And with the mean comments and the hate comments, just ignore them. Do not reply to them. Do not acknowledge them. Negativity has never gotten anyone anywhere in the world. I have some videos about negativity if you want to watch them. But in terms of comments and people, just ignore it. And yeah, it takes a bit of practice to train your mind to not want to fight back, but it's possible. One thing that's huge, though, this is really big, is when you're talking, especially about your life, you got to remember, if you care about what other people think, you cannot do this. Especially if you're talking about your life on, online, publicly. A lot of people, they go into podcasting, or at least from what I've seen with my eyes, is they go into podcasting and they're kind of like, or any creative thing online, and they start caring about what people think, and they let it negatively affect them. And you just can't open yourself up to the negative comments like that and the negative stuff. And if you're not able to subdue that part of yourself, that negative part, the part of you that cares about what people think, maybe this isn't the right, thing for you to pursue. But there's only one way to find out if you really love it, which is to try. Podcasts are actually magic. Like, podcasts hold a really important place in the world, because without them, like, conversations are just, they're gone, right? but podcasts are able to capture conversations, meaningful conversations for other people to listen to. And it's a great thing. It's so beautiful. And when you have that one episode where there's going to be one episode where you're like, man, that was like the best thing I've ever done. Getting that out to people and having them tell you like, man, like that was amazing is one of the best feelings you will ever feel. It's so nice. And it's just important to remember, man, like what you're doing should ultimately be a positive thing for the world and the people who are watching. And man, I can't even like put it into words how beautiful podcasting is, man. So I want to reflect on some of the stats over the years. So in total, we have accumulated 16,547 views, 1,000 hours of watch time, that's crazy. It's somewhere, above 1,000, and 161 subscribers, which is awesome. That's crazy, man. I don't even know what to say about that. And oh my God, 238,000 impressions. That is crazy, dude. I am extremely grateful for every single one of you who watches. This has been so much fun, and I've learned a lot of life lessons from this podcast, and I've met amazing people, and I've had great conversations, and I'm just really excited, man, for what is to come. Even though like I do upload rarely sometimes, there's sometimes where I like stop. There's always self-doubt, by the way. Like this is how it is. It's just I always hate the content and then I also love it, and it's just a weird little like imbalance thing. There's always things that try to stop me from like making videos, but in the end it's like a really fun thing and I love it, so I can't stop. And I'm just really excited for like 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. Like I want to be able to reflect on this video and laugh and cringe, because that's the fun part, man. When you look back and you just see the growth that you've made, it's like, man, like that's so amazing. But yeah, thanks so much for watching. I hope if you were trying to start a podcast, you learned something and I could help you out a little bit. If you do have any questions, feel free to DM me on my Instagram at the Bloomers Podcast, or leave a comment. I'll try to help as much as I can. But yeah, it's been 2 years and I am just so happy. I love this podcast. I love making podcasts. I love talking. It's great. And I'm excited for what we can do and create and see in the future. So thanks to every single guest, thanks to every single viewer, every single follower I have on Instagram, every single hater, every single person who ever said something negative. Thanks so much for the attention. Nah, I'm kidding. But seriously, I love you guys. Thanks so much. Take care. Bye.